map, why is it important for us? Map for us is like an X-ray to a doctor. For us who are development workers, if we do not know what exists in any settlement or a city, then there is a fear that we might do something which the government usually does, sometimes even financed by the UN, ADB, World Bank. That they dig up a place, they don't have any idea there's a telephone line, water line, or gas line, and they want to lay a sewerage line. So in the process of laying a sewerage line, they cut everything else. So that is why for us, a map is like an X-ray that tells us what the problem is so we can resolve it. That is it. Okay? Like an X-ray for a doctor. Okay. Now second, what does a map tell us? What do we get in a map? In a map, because we are the Ninja Turtles of the sewage lines. We began as the Ninja Turtles of the sewage line. So initially, when in 1982 we began mapping, we first began mapping of Orangi town. It is a town in Karachi which has 113 settlement, 1.5 million people. So we mapped first about the sewerage and the drainage and the water lines, the clinics and the schools and the block makers' yards. Pakistan, let me tell you, everywhere there is self-help, everywhere. We sometimes think, where is the government? And that we relate to the fact that Pakistan's entire budget, about 85% goes to the IMF World Bank loan returns and to defense. So there's hardly anything left for the people, anything left for development. That's why people need to survive, and they do a lot of self-help, everything. They lay sewer lines, water lines, they set up their own schools, clinics. Of course, they do their own business, they build their own house. So for us, it was very important to understand who is doing what. Where is the sewerage line? Is it a government sewerage line? Is it a people-led work? Or where it doesn't exist? So all that information, this kind of information spanned every sector. Like water, also all the actors involved, schools, all the actors involved. So the mapping has spanned the entire Karachi city. And today we are involved in mapping those settlements which about 6 years back were known as rural villages, but when we mapped we found that they are no longer villages, they are urban. Just the map itself helped the government and the people, the government to announce land title and the people to get it. Just the map. Because the map showed that, for example, we were able to walk ourselves, get the Google map, satellite images, put the two together, get a lot of help from the residents, the goat elders, our community activists. Siraj, he's also got an office in the goat, and able to map each and every settlement which had become urban. The government's data showed that there are only about 400 such settlements, but our mapping altogether, all of us mapping, showed that there are more than 2,000 such settlements. In fact, just knowing that there are 2,000 such settlements, we were advocating, everybody. We advocate all of us separately, but the same thing we advocate. And I think the idea was to make the government understand that it's too many you cannot evict. It's how do we say, that it's fait accompli, and you can't do anything about it, so you might as well give land title. It was in the beginning of 2006 that we started mapping all these settlements, and in April 2010, 50% of all these urban goats, they are known as urban villages, which is a contrast. But the Chief Minister says they are urban villages. So 1,000 of 1,063 of them were announced to get the land title. And it was the map that did it. So we remember one thing we were asking, all of us were discussing that why is it so important to the elders of the villages, to the goat elders? Why didn't they lobby before? Yeah. So they said that when we used to go lobby without a map, and they used to think, okay, it's non-serious. But when they went with the map, they said, with the map we became visible. Map made us visible, and the map made the government take us seriously. So that's the power of the map. Who does the mapping? All of us do mapping. She too has learnt mapping. She maps her villages in the flood-affected areas. Her daughter maps, he maps, his friends map. We are all ninja turtles of mapping. We don't know anything unless somebody shows us a map. All of us, everybody, together with, all of us are a mixture of people living in the community, people have community-based organizations, there are groups, and we all map together. And these are highly professional maps that began at rudimentary sketches, but then we linked it up to Google satellite images. The GIS, we've tried to use it, but for us it's too time-consuming, and it does not get us close to the community. So for us, the walking map, the Google satellite images, linking up, that makes us build up relationships. So the map helps us build up relationships. What has the map done? Yeah, the map has helped professionals understand the reality and have the courage to accept reality. That's very important. We might know reality, but can't accept it. Okay, so the professionals to understand reality and to have the courage, build up the courage. The government to understand reality, and for the government to understand that somebody else also has this information, so that somebody else can pressure. It's not just we, or it's not just the ADB, World Bank, or UN developing this info. The people are, the NGOs, the CBOs, and the people have this info. The media has this info. The media is very important for this work, because the media, in our case, used all our maps. And today, all our maps are being used by the government, the media, the politicians. Yeah, they're using the maps. So it's good for us. And in this also, we have a strategy that sometimes on a map, we do not put our name. We also say, okay, you put your name. You put the chief minister's name. You put the government department's name, as long as you accept that map. So that is also a strategy for us, that we take a back seat. We become invisible. And sometimes, a number of times, the people use the map and put their organization's seal on it. And we love that. It's great for us. Okay? Now, and of course, the community also understands, because we have found that the communities, the people within settlements, a number of times understand their own work, their own lane, their own few lanes, but an understanding of the entire area, that is needed. And once the understanding is there, the advocacy takes another level. It goes to another level. Because within the community, there are people who there are levels of people. Like some who know their lane work, some who know their mohalla work, but there are some who understand the town work and the city work. So this helps take the advocacy and pressurizing of the government. And of course, the government officials within the departments also making use of it and supporting it. So the community understands. There is a lot of relationship building, because the info, whenever it's gathered while talking, while discussing, while being in the settlement. The relationship building for us has been the key that has helped advocacy and city-wide upgrading. A point I missed when I said who does the map. The youths of the community have been very important. Community youths right from 1981 till to date are involved in mapping all across. We are a network, the Community Development Network, of more than 80 partner organizations and 3,000 community-based organizations across two most populous provinces. We are also in 2 more provinces, but one province there is a lot of Taliban and Al-Qaeda, so we have to be very careful. And the 4th province also is now getting, so we have to be careful. But 2 provinces which are the most populous, there are a lot of youth, and why is a strategy the youths were involved? Because the youths like to talk. The youths are not short of time. They build up relationships, and that's both ways, to understand and to gently extend some info that anybody wants to extend into any town, any city, any settlement. All right. Now, what has it done? What has it done at a wider level? Some examples, and then I hand over to my friends. Just some examples. The mapping for us, for OPP-RTI, for TTRC, for WWO. He will be making a presentation himself. He's another city, and our city together. So what has it done? Yeah. In 1999, we were involved in the city of Karachi, trying to stop a very scandalous $100 million Asian Development Bank loan for one town's sewerage in Karachi. And $100 million. How we stopped it, we mapped the settlement. The government had signed the agreement with no map in it. There was an the entire loan was sanctioned, but there was no map. So we started questioning. We said, okay, no map, let's do it ourselves. It was another town, not Orangi, another town, another part of the city. And we mapped it, and we found that the loan that the government was taking was for the sewerage and the drainage of the entire town. The population is 1 million of the other town. 80% of all infrastructure existed. So why the loan? And then we estimated that if 80% exists, only 20% some work, then only $15 million is needed. And I remember in one of the meetings with the governor where the loan was cancelled, the government department which has taken the loan were lobbying, no, we need it. We want it. We can't do without loan. So the governor said, after the map and all that, seeing the map and of course a lot of advocacy, if we can build the atom bomb, he said, not the bomb, the atom bomb, why can't we make our own sewerage line? So the point is that the governor did not want to take the loan, but the info to make his point powerful was not there, and that the map did it. So we were there was a huge advocacy. The URC was involved. There were lots of other organizations all over Karachi were involved, and I think the map strengthened it and made our advocacy visible. Very important. The second, that in the OPP-RTI's work, and the TTRC's work, the URC's work, we began as working in settlements, and then we expanded into the town. But our expansion into the city and other cities was due to map, because maps are our eyes that, like the X-ray, they tell us what to do, where to go, who to lobby. And so that. Okay, finally, it's like I did explain it a little bit, how the goats, the villages have become urban. And that for us was such a, such an exciting development. I remember when Diana was there in 2010, and we were, she went and met the community members. They were distraught that, okay, the government gives land title to the rich, why not to us? We are here since ages. We are the oldest settlers of Karachi. these were settlements which were there even before all the migrants came to Karachi. Karachi is a city of migrants. All the settlements since before the birth of Pakistan. And they said, why not us? Why they are migrants? This was also a case of friction, political friction between the old settlers and the migrants. But the map did it. And even that settlement where you went to, they have got the land title. They've even got the individual land title. So we were saying, all of us, I remember, who are even today we are involved. He's involved, he'll explain how the land title map is different from the infrastructure map, and how they are linking it up. So we were just saying in 2010 that if today we die, we'll be so happy we've done it. Because let me explain to you one thing more, why we said that. Because Karachi is in flames. Yeah? One of the aspects of the violence is the land, number one. Who gets the land title is very important, because the latest migrants who are represented by a very violent political party have all got the land title. They came after 1980s. And these, the original settlers, even before the 1947, the partition of Pakistan, never got it. I remember when we were doing the mapping, there were a lot of angry young people. And they said, oh, that settlement? They are migrants. They have got it. We are the original settlers. We have not got it. So the map and the land title, and now we are doing a lot of infrastructure, saving groups. Saving groups we learned from our partners in SDI, and it's become such an important tool for us. We think, why didn't we begin it 20 years back? And let me also tell you something. Lots of ideas about development of the goat and all, and a lot of some little things Tom and Sumsuk would tell us, would write to us a little bit, made us think. And so we all have a lot of initiatives within these so-called urban villages, which are urban, but it's a compromise. So this land title thing has been a step forward for the peace of Karachi. It's contributed for the peace and the political balance. So it's very powerful. Thank you. Thanks.